So today is eventing day. It's so exciting. So today is eventing day. We are heading up to Kirrie, well, we're at Kirrie now. For the first Scottish BE of the season. We are doing our first run at 80, like just to get us warmed up and see how we get on. Fingers crossed he's a good boy. There's definitely a few questions in the course, and you'll see them. I've popped the little course walk on the next video, so you'll be able to see exactly what jumps we're jumping. So I don't feel nervous, but I feel a little bit sick. I think it's because I put so much pressure on myself to do well. But I'd love to just get a double clear at this height and him feel confident going round. But there's a lot of riding to do today, so fingers crossed he is a good boy, answers all the questions the jumps are going to throw at us, and yeah, it's a good day. The ground is perfect, the jumps look so good, and yeah, I'm so excited. Oh my god, even though we're going cross country at like 6:30 at night. But I suppose that's the thing with eventing, isn't it? Should have maybe practiced doing a tail the week before Kirrie, not just the day of Kirrie. God, I've not had to do that in such a long time, like years. So just forelock to plait. His plaits are quite big, but I don't like pulling his mane because he's got sweet itch. I don't want it to become like irritate the hair follicle when it grows back in, so I just have to keep it shorter, but they are thicker. But he's got little like sticky up bits here because he's rubbed his mane previously, so they're really wispy. And it's annoying to try and keep them down, but it's one of those things. I'd rather keep him happier than try and pull his mane out, so yeah. Just got to deal with it. He's been hot cloth, he's got stuff on his leg, just make him whiter. So it's just his forelock. Oh my god, just his forelock to go. Yep, and he's getting annoyed now. So we're just about to leave shortly, because I've got a late slot, which is perfect. You listening? You gonna behave? Okay, so that's him all plaited. Now just put boots on and get going. The more I watch this test, the more I absolutely hate my riding, and I hate looking at this test. He felt like he was going to totally explode initially when I went in the ring, and I did absolutely nothing to try and like stop him being so tense. So fingers crossed for Glendenny will be better, because I just hate watching this back, and my riding's horrific.
Well done.
So our first BE of the season as well and truly ticked off. Jock was so good from start to finish, like I couldn't honestly fault him. And he came home with a lovely double clear and finished 4th in his class, which is absolutely brilliant. I'm so happy with it. So I was actually feeling quite sick when we arrived, which isn't like me. And it wasn't really nerves, it was more, like it wasn't cross-country nerves because they jumped up, they didn't bother me. It was actually my dressage. The dressage was stressing me out beyond belief. So as soon as that was over, I felt fine again. And I don't know why it was stressing me out. I think I just put so much pressure on myself to do well. And I just can't switch my brain to be normal like everyone else. Unfortunately, I will always put pressure on myself to do well. Yeah, it's very difficult, I think. Because if you're not in that mindset, I don't think you can understand. And it's not a bad thing. But unless you've got the competitive mindset, you won't understand what it feels like. But he was so good. So he started with a 33.5 dressage, which wasn't ideal. He was very tense, which is a shame, and he was warming up lovely. But he locked on to the cross-country fences because at Kirrie you can see the cross-country right over the fence. So I was trotting around lovely, and the next one he'd just stop and look. But it's one of those things, he's got to get used to it. He was tense in his test, that's something we need to work on. But every single dressage test he's done, so like 4, the judges have made really lovely remarks towards him and just said tight through neck. So I know that's definitely something we need to work on. It's consistently the same thing. So if it was different, I'd kind of be panicking a little bit. But no, every judge has got really lovely comments to say about him. So going into my show jumping, I didn't know what my dressage score was. I didn't want to know. I didn't want that added pressure of thinking, well, if he's in, say, the top 10, then I've got to kind of stay there. So I went with a really like, oh well, like wherever we are, it doesn't matter. I'm aiming for a double clear. Popped down to show jumping like it was nothing. But yeah, he was so good. And then on to his cross country, he literally just stormed round. So I trotted at the ditch and then trotted at the water jump, but I did it for a reason. The ditch, I'd say, was our bogey fence on the course. Not in the sense he wouldn't jump it, but after this ditch there was a skinny like rail, and when he jumps ditches he can totally balloon them. So I didn't want to get catapulted into the air and then not have enough time to recover. So I trotted at it, kept him pushing up, and he popped through it, and that's why I was totally over the moon. So that's what I'd class as our bogey fence. And then I just trotted to the little boat thing before the water just to make sure we got over it, and he trotted through the water like there was no problem at all. But the difference in him compared to last year when he jumped an 80 was unbelievable. He was taking me to the fences, if anything, a little bit too quick. But he was so fit. I actually underestimated how fit he was. I was panicking, thinking he might get a little bit tired after going up the hills at Kirrie. But he came, the time he walked from the like cross country to the car, he had stopped blowing. He was so fit, it's unbelievable. I can honestly fault him. I am so excited to head to Forgandenny this weekend. Literally the countdown is on. And I'm going with 0 expectations. I'm not expecting him to be amazing. If he has a fault cross country, that is okay. I think when you move up a height, you have to start back down at the bottom of the pecking order again, and then you work your way up. just like everything, nothing is perfect first time. Lots of things can be worked on. So yeah, going with little expectations. But yeah, I'm so excited, and I'm quite excited to actually see people, because my section was right at the end of the day at Kirrie, so the atmosphere was kind of gone. I hope you enjoyed our day out with us. I promise the Forg and Denny vlog will be so much more better, because we're on in the morning. I think my dressage is meant to be about 8:30 roughly, going about the approximate section times on BE. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Please give a little like and a little subscribe. Thank you.